You're listening to the Incomparables Total Party Kill podcast, in which a group of friends play Dungeons & Dragons on the internet for your amusement. This is episode number 502, recorded December 2024, posted May 2025. Cultists are not made of robot.
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, a Dungeon Master. I use he, him pronouns today. We are continuing Candlekeep deconstruction, one of the Candlekeep mysteries. What is going on? Our adventurers are in the midst of battle. They're in the basement underneath a strange tower called the Barn Door. They're fighting skitter widgets, which are these horrible, like, robot cockroach dogs. There are some cultists. Things are not going well. Allow me to introduce our players in initiative order, because we're in the middle of a fight. First up, it's Nick Scott. Nick, how you doing?
Good, thanks. My name's Nick Scott, he, him, and I am playing Murdery, a male fighter who currently has 27 out of 85 hit points.
Everybody give your current hit point total, please.
Good information to share. Next up, the bravest person I've met playing a character. It's James Thompson.
I'm playing Nyasa Nightweaver, a high elf rogue who currently has 20 hit points out of 66, who is suspiciously close to the door but has not gone through it as yet.
Also joining us, your fictional sister, your real life friend, it's Annette Wierstra.
Hello, I am Annette She/Her, playing Valenthe, who is an elven druid. My hit points are 33, so you know, I'm up. Good. I'm fighting.
And next up, our musical pal Dan Morin.
Hello. I am playing Qeris, Spellstrummer, a bard. And if you were just to glance at him, you would think to yourself, that looks like a fellow with about 32 hit points out of 57. That's just the vibe. It's just the vibe he gives.
Yep. And, you know, he's stunning. It's Jason Snell.
Yes, indeed. I am playing Nis. She is a lizard folk sorcerer. She has 22 hit points, but soon will not. And is stunned and incapacitated, and therefore unable to do anything but fall to the ground, which she refuses to do because she knows that if they target her, maybe her friends will be able to fight back.
Yeah. So our adventurers are investigating strange occurrences within Candlekeep. There's something weird going on in this abandoned, condemned tower known as the Barn Door. It's causing earthquake-like tremors within the library, and even stranger things happening in the basement where there are cultists and robot interlopers here. Unfortunately, we are starting with the robot interlopers, the skitter widgets. They rolled the best on the initiative order. So I've got two of them left, skitter widget 1 and skitter widget 3. And skitter widget 3 is standing next to the stunned Nis. Now, how does incapacitated work in terms of a robot biting you, Nis?
It gets advantage.
I am sorry. Rolling a bite attack. Well, I rolled a critical fail and a 15. Does 15 hit?
15 just hits Nis.
I'm sorry. You will take 7 piercing damage from that robot. And it's also grasping you in its jaws. It's then going to try and hit you with its terrible, terrible stunning tail attack, which unfortunately, ouch. I rolled a 25.
Yeah, well, that'll hit.
Yeah, you're going to take 5 piercing damage and 9 lightning damage. You still up?
I am.
Roll a DC 15 Constitution save to see if you're going to be stunned again.
Oh, it was on 15 and it rolled over to 12, so it's a 14.
All right, you are stunned.
I should have given you that inspiration. Sorry, Jason.
What are you saving it for?
Guess so.
You know what? I don't know.
The other skitter widget is going to advance on Nis.
Okay.
I don't know if this is good or bad, but you're there. So it's going to come up to you and try and bite you. I feel like basically it can't miss because you're stunned. So it bites you. 6 piercing damage.
I mean, technically, it's got disadvantage. So
I mean, I rolled.
Okay.
It has advantage. You mean?
Well, then I'm it's got advantage. Well, then I'm down.
I rolled a 12 and a 19.
I have gone in that delicate balance between being stunned to being unconscious.
All right, you are unconscious. Good news, you're not stunned anymore.
Is that how that happens?
Yeah. Can't be stunned if you're unconscious.
Cool.
All right. That was the Skitter Widget's turn. The cultists are next. Pigweed, the cultist, is facing off with Kiwaris. He's going to multi-attack and dagger attack Kiwaris. And let's see. I rolled a 22 and a 15, Kiwaris.
15 is my armor class.
You will take 5 and 4, or as math people call it, 9 dagger damage.
9 dagger damage it is. I don't
All right. 2 more cultists pour out of the doorway. Will we ever learn their weird cult names? You can see it. It's embroidered on their little jumpsuits, and they're close enough. One of them, Ram Sugar, and the other one, Sheep Sweet Corn.
I've definitely heard Ram Sugar. They are a Rammstein cover band.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like that's what your wife calls you. So,
whoa.
She calls him Sheep Sweet Corn. What are you talking about?
Sorry,
yeah, please get it right.
I regret this line of commentary. These cultists are they're feeling a little magical. They got some wind in their sails. They see they see Nis on the ground bleeding out, who made all kinds of mess in their workshop, and so they are feeling zesty. They are going to hurl some sacred flames at I think Murdy and Kueris are the front line here. So let me see here. I believe Sacred Flame is just a spell attack, or is it a spell save?
No, it's a save.
It's a save. So flames cut through the air. I need a DC 11 dex save from Kueris and Murdy.
I score 18.
I got 13.
All right, you're both fine. Magic splashes on the stone steps near you. That could have been a lot worse. Murdy, you are next. There are several cultists in the hallway with you now. There are 2 Skitter Widgets who are basically just scuffed up a little bit. The cultist right near you is bloodied and pretty badly hurt, but there's 2 other ones who are fresh and raring to take down more people.
Well, I am going to go after the bloodied one with my great sword, and I roll a 23.
That definitely hits.
And 9 points of damage.
That is enough to fell him.
Yep.
Nice.
Do you have a second attack?
Yep. I think I'll just charge up to this guy here and hit him with the sword.
All right, Ram Sugar is the next cultist in the hallway. You close with him.
23, and then
That's still gonna hit.
13 points of damage.
Ouch! Cultists are not made of robot, and that bloodies Ram Sugar. All right, Murdy, is that your turn?
That is it.
Niasa Nightweaver, are you still in this adventure?
Yeah.
Right, hold on. I got to scroll way over on my map to find you.
I'm just keeping my optimal distance.
Keeping your options open. Okay.
I am going to move forward 15 feet.
Still 45 feet away from your nearest friend, probably.
Yeah, well, whatever. I mean, my sister's close, and
emotionally, not distance-wise.
I could have made it to her. Anyway, I am going to attack the skitter widget that is immediately to the right of Nis.
All right.
From my, let's see, just check that I'm exactly. Yeah. Oh no, I'm 55 feet, so I'm 5 feet closer than I need to be.
That's bravery.
Yeah.
Literally.
This doesn't fall down when she's incapacitated, but Nyasa goes 5 feet closer.
It is
I know who I feel.
The smallest amount of bravery.
It's the least you could do.
Nyasa
I am still present. That in Nyasa's book is pretty good.
Still present. The greatest present you could offer.
Yes. That is a 23, which
that'll hit a skitter widget. Now, do you have are circumstances such that you still do sneak attack, or
I should do because Nis is still alive.
Nis is still alive, not conscious, but alive. Okay.
Well, if we're going to check the actual rules on a sneak attack,
he said yes. Just take it.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, it absolutely works if somebody is alive.
Okay.
And this is going to be 66 plus 4.
66 plus 4.
Oh, that is not good. There's a lot of low numbers in that. 6, 9, 12, plus another 2, 14, plus 4, 16 damage. Not great.
Not great.
I will throw another ineffectual dagger at the same one, which does not. Well, no, I don't think it does. Like 14.
14 does not hit.
No.
Yeah.
And I will move back 15 feet.
Just going to point out, that the speed of a skitter widget is 30 feet. So.
I know, and they're all the way over there.
All right.
This is the point where I point out, just because someone on listening will do it. No, you can't get sneak attack when they're incapacitated. They need to be a threat.
That's what I thought.
And this is a threat.
She's biding her time. She might hop up any second.
Any moment. If somebody would actually do that for me. If somebody would healing word me.
So
hey Valente, if you can dispatch that bloodied cultist, I got an idea.
Okay. Okay, so I was thinking about turning in, because it'll take my action to turn into the use wild shape, which means I can't attack it. So I could do that.
You don't have to. Do whatever you want.
Okay.
Like, I was just trying.
You still got a lot of hit points.
Yeah, I got an idea that might help. Let's see.
So because I'm thinking, because Nyasa and I grew up in different households with, I can't remember if I was with, I think my dad, and I learned different lessons than she did.
Different lessons about
I am going to
and courage and
skirt
heroism.
around, and I can just make it over by Nis and sit in this mess here. And I think if as a bonus action I can do a healing word, will that get Nis up?
That will get Nis up.
So I am going to cast a level 1 because I'm low on spells. Oh wait, I can do a level 2.
I'll take whatever.
6 points.
6 whole points.
It's basically,
it's enough to get you on, and you're not incapacitated.
It's going to be very hard to give someone more hit points than a skitter, which it can take away.
It's that Pulp Fiction adrenaline syringe.
As long
That's
as
basically how I do it
before they get a turn.
Yeah.
But as like I get that healing word out, and then I turn into a giant octopus right in the middle of all those monsters, which means I have a lot more hit points to work with.
Do.
So I'm here to take some hits.
All right.
And distract and like wave my arms around and get people to, hit me instead of my friends.
That's what a hero does.
Cueris.
Well, we're going to do this. I'm going to step up to that bloody cultist and attempt to run them through with a rapier.
Okay.
It was on an 18 and moved over to a 4, so 11.
No, I'm sorry. 11 won't hit unless there's some other situation going on here.
Is that your plan?
No.
I
wanted
ruined
that
the
guy
plan.
to be dead.
Oh, I see.
I ruined the plan.
The plan was
I wanted
going
there to
rogue.
be one left.
I see.
So I can get him to call the skitter widgets off.
Oh, yeah.
But if there's two of them, that seems less likely. I will attempt a bonus attack with a dagger for very little damage. That's an 18.
That hits.
D4 straight up. 1 damage.
All right. You give him a dramatic slice across the cheek. Honestly, it just makes him look cooler.
Can I roll intimidation?
No, because you did 1 hit point of damage.
Nothing intimidating about that.
Mm-hmm.
That was with my offhand. Imagine if I'd hit him with my full hand. Think about that.
I mean, I saw you try to stab him with a real sword.
That was a feint.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a feint.
I see.
Okay.
Jeez, it's like this guy's never been in a fight before.
His name's Ram Sugar, and you will talk to him with respect.
Challenge.
All right. Nis, you gasp for air as you see Valente next to you transform into a giant octopus.
Yep, love it.
You're on the ground. Technically,
You may have
the
lost
skitter widgets.
oxygen to your brain for a few minutes.
Yeah, technically, the skitter widgets are not aware of you as a threat until you do
Yes.
something.
Until I do something. Indeed, I am. I would like, as a giant wall of fire erupts over the skitter widgets.
Just the skitter widgets, not the skitter widgets and the sheep sweet corn.
So the problem is, can I get an angle? Can I get? It's only one. So a wall of fire is 60 feet long, 20 feet high, and 1 foot thick. So can I get a ringed wall up to 20 feet in diameter? I guess the question is, could I make a ring that sort of encircled all 4 of those guys along with me and Valente, or what?
Dan, I forget what the actual rules are for walls versus the shenanigans that we've seen our friend Brian try to pull.
Yeah, like making horizontal walls.
Horizontal walls on boats and stuff.
What I need is everybody's going to take damage if they're in the wall. So the question is, can I make? And I can't make a straight or a ringed. So could I make like an oval wall that catches them all, along with me and Valente?
I think so. I think the relevant thing is you can make the wall up to 60 feet long, which suggests you can make it any length that's less than that.
In
the
a line.
ring wall is a little trickier because that is specifically 20 feet in diameter.
Right.
But only, as I recall, only one side of the wall does damage.
It's up to 20 feet in diameter.
Oh, you're right. But it would probably still have to be a circle.
Does it have to be a circle, or could it be an oval?
Oh, ring is a little.
You're right.
I think you could probably do a.
I like when James, who totally messed up the sneak attack rules, weighs in. Especially when he's like, James, do you have a citation for this, or do you just have feelings about what you want?
I have vibes. I think
I don't think these actually count as vibes. I think they're just you wanting stuff. Vibes mean something
Tony,
different.
we're here to have fun and to all enjoy ourselves.
Is that what we're doing? Jason, I will say, how about this? You could easily get a wall that cuts through 2 skitter widgets and a sheep sweet corn. I don't think you can get a wall that will go through all 4.
All right. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a little straight wall that runs from the doorway up to the skitter widgets, and it just passes through those guys.
Yeah. Yep.
If you keep them on that side of the wall that does damage, then they are unlikely to come through and get us. That's great. I love that.
So they'll be that side of the wall will do damage if they're within 10 side when they finish.
Okay. Does anything happen now, or it's on their turn deal?
And they take damage when they enter the wall for the first time on
they do
turn.
a dex throw right now.
They do a dex, yes.
When the wall appears.
So dex saving on those 3 guys, DC 16.
All right, let's see how that goes, because I feel like a lot could roll. A lot could.
This is just laying on the ground during this.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you're just like with one eye, you kind of cast the spell. It's like, this wasn't me. This is somebody else. Yep. This is
I'm still asleep.
Yeah,
northernmost of the area. You guys never turned on the firewall before?
Northernmost skitter widget rolls a 10, which is insufficient.
That's security.
Fail.
Southernmost skitter widget roll a 13. Is that what do I need?
16.
13, not
Fail.
16.
That's mad
and Sweetcorn in the doorway, 12 also fail. So all three
fails.
What happens?
Guess how much damage they take?
I don't know.
68.
68.
Nice.
68.
Remember that part where we got Nis back up and so many low numbers on 68.
It's 16 damage, fire damage on all three of them.
That's why we never say, guess how much damage.
I do 68. We did our thing that we do. And then, I rolled a couple of ones in there. So still.
I mean, you did just deploy, basically 50 damage. So that's
shield.
Something.
I'll take it.
And I'm a little uncertain about what happens on their turns and whatnot. Which Nis is that? Are you done? Do you want to stand up? I don't know.
Well, I guess if I try to move away of a thing that's got fire in through it, I don't know. Is that an opportunity attack?
I mean, Nyasa would point out that lying on the ground is a viable strategy.
I think
the wall is opaque. I don't think they can see you.
Yeah.
Okay, then right. I'm gonna get up and back off.
Yeah.
If you will allow me that level of movement, I think that's what I'll do. Is stand up and back off. What do I get? Half my movement?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'll do. Thank you.
All right. So, it is the Skitter Widget's turn, and I'm a little unsure what do they see / what are their options. They start their turn
wall of fire.
Next to a wall of fire.
Yes.
Do they take damage for starting their turn?
Until they end their turn.
I think, and this is where the Skitter Widget's being constructs comes into play. You would put an opaque wall of fire between them and you. I think they're going to back up away from the wall of fire, but they can't see you, so they're not going to do anything.
We don't exist.
Yeah, so I think they will back up so that they are. And how long does wall of fire last?
It lasts up to a minute.
Concentration up to a minute. Okay,
and it's they need to be outside of 10 feet, or they will take more fire damage. They need to back off 10 feet off the wall.
So they do that. So that was them. Cultists are next. One of them is suddenly finds himself on the wrong side of a wall of fire with just you all. And he is going to kind of... What is he going to do?
Can I intimidate him now, Tony?
He can't get through the doorway either.
No, he's going to panic. I'm going to roll a d4 to see who he's going to attack. 2, he's going to attack Murdy with daggers. Dagger. I have rolled a 12's not going to hit Murdy, but a 21 might. 5 piercing damage. All right, he just cuts you on the arm, Murdy. Poor Sheep Sweetcorn has started his turn next to a wall of fire. And I think that he is going to bolt through the wall of fire. What does that do to him?
That'll take some damage.
If he's entering the wall of fire, he will take fire damage.
He enters the wall of fire.
Oh, Tony, why did you do that? Because he's a cultist and not very bright?
He is a cultist. He has a dark devotion to his cause.
I'm darkly devoted to my cause.
My name's Sheep Sweetcorn,
aka Chad.
Let's see. This is the first time. Okay, let me be clear here about this one. The firewall. One side of the wall deals 5d8 fire damage to each creature that ends its turn within 10 feet of that side. A creature takes the same damage when it enters the wall for the first time on a turn or ends its turn there.
That's happening now.
That's happening now.
Don't guess what damage it takes, but it's 68. 23 damage.
See, that's how we do it.
It's 68, not 5d8?
It is, because I had to cast it at level 5.
At a higher level?
Yeah.
All right. So this is a game of imagination. This
Imagine a man
cultist,
on fire.
Well, like you basically just see there's a wall of fire that's opaque, and so you can't see through it, and a man passes through it right into Murdy's face, but he is burned alive while that happens.
And
so he runs at you, Murray, with his dagger out and is immolated before he gets there.
That's how I like my cultists.
Nis thinks to herself, "Oh, well, I was wondering if those were fireproof. Those jumpsuits, they're not.
The jumpsuits are
It's just cotton.
They're fire resistant, but they are not fireproof. Yeah,
Fire resistant. Unfortunately, the cultist inside not fire resistant.
That's not cultist inside, not fireproof.
Okay.
Actually, let me just check something for a second. This is important. This is really important. Ram Sugar is the one remaining cultist. The one cultist on this side of the fire. This is not going to come up, but Ram Sugar, I think I mentioned, is a dragonborn and has resistance to fire damage.
Oh.
So you know what would have been great is if they had switched places, but they didn't.
They didn't.
They didn't. So that's the cultist turn. Murdy, you are face to face with a cultist. There's a wall of fire making this look really awesome right behind all of you.
All right, I am going to hit him with my great sword as I want to do.
Mm-hmm. It's okay.
And I roll a 23, which hits him, and then that does 13 points of damage.
He had 13 hit points. You whack him on the side of the head, and he goes down.
We've got... All right, we should stay in initiative order and clear this room before the fire ends.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fire will last a minute.
I will leave it to James to decide whether he's going to go stick his hand in some acid.
Well, there was another 5 minutes for that acid to drain, and we've got 1 minute of fire, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So
Marty, let me just ask you
30
if you
seconds
want
of combat.
If you want to do anything on your turn, or if you're happy there.
I'm feeling pretty enthusiastic, so I'm going to get a second wind and get
Okay.
1d10 plus 9 hit points.
Oh, that's nice.
So plus 13 hit points.
Nice. All right.
And
Nyasa,
then I'm going.
and then-
I'm just going to back up because I need to be 15 feet away.
No, the fire is only on one side.
It's
It's
special
the
magic
backside.
one-sided fire.
Yep.
You know?
But I think we should we still make our way towards the double doors? Because I don't think we want to be down
Double
here.
doors?
I
No.
think retreat, or at least heading away from those things, because if they don't see us, they don't seem to see us as a threat. So
Can't see it as a threat if you can't see it.
yeah,
Mhm.
if
Okay,
we
well,
remove
I'm just gonna-
ourselves.
I'll remind you, there was a room beyond the workshop that all of these appeared from.
It's on the wrong side of the fire.
Yep, that room is gone now.
That room does not
If he
exist.
can't see it, we can't get into it.
So let's continue to move in initiative order. Nyasa, you are next.
Question: is the wall of fire opaque on this side?
Yes.
Okay.
You can't. You know there's skitter widgets on the other side of it, but you can't see them. They can't see you.
Well, question is, which direction do we want to go? Do we want to go
By the way,
out of
you know what? Jason Snell gets inspiration
Oh,
for clutch spellcasting tactics in the face of overwhelming odds.
Yes, that was very good. So do you think we should just head up, out, or which direction? Because I'm happy to lead the charge in whatever direction we want to go.
As long as it's away.
There's only one room. Well, I presume there's only one room beyond there. This seems more like workshop stuff that's ancillary to the, barn door itself. And it seems like if the risk is that the people are trying to start this launch sequence, we probably need to deal with them, and we know that they're on the clock. So it feels like we need to get back in and get upstairs and confront them.
They were, from
gut.
what I remember, they were strapped into seats. So,
Well, we're still looking for what's his name, Stonky.
Stonky.
Stonky is I'm assuming through the door behind the fire.
Do we think maybe that's like a mission control room?
Probably.
What was the thing about the ring?
They were looking for a ring.
And Saki was annoyed that they might not be able to find it before the launch happened.
Yeah.
And
all the
could be what's
cultists
in the acid.
Yeah, if I was going to say, I would say the big ring-shaped thing on the map, the well, might have a ring in it.
The cultists were all on their hands and knees looking for something.
This is Nyasa logic.
Wells contain rings.
What is the world but not a large circle? And how many rings does it contain? Yeah,
a library is a box that contains books, which are also boxes.
Which are basically word boxes.
I will say, Nyasa is not very smart.
Yeah,
has many wonderful qualities.
All right, I'm just going to check. What is Nyasa's intelligence?
Nyasa's intelligence is a 9.
Okay, well, that's
and a wisdom
slightly below average.
And a wisdom of 8, so not very wise.
All right, well, that checks out. All right, it's still somehow your turn, even though there's nothing to attack.
I'm trying to talk to the team and be a team player and decide what we're going to do, because if I just run out, it looks like I'm just leaving. So
you want everyone to know I'm not retreating as you retreat.
If I channeling my good friend who is loves planning out combat encounters. The tactically smart thing to do is everybody readies an action to hit the nearest skitter widget, and then
we drop the wall of fire.
All of those go off.
Also, especially, their range is 30, so if you can stay 30 feet away from them.
Away. Yeah, we could basically get one free round of all of us hitting one. Yeah.
But we also
we'll still
know
leave one on the loose.
They are basically full health or close to full health, both 80. Nis has got 6 hit points.
We can spend a round.
And Valenthe's still a giant octopus.
I am a giant octopus.
We can also spend a round, basically using what healing words we have.
And Valenthe's gonna take up some hit points because there's a giant octopus.
So I can get in. I can actually
tanking.
Attack and stay in, so they'll attack me instead of you.
Yeah, and then maybe the rest of us just stand behind Valenthe and ready attacks and try to take out one of them as fast as possible. And then if it's 5-on-1, that's a much better odds for us.
Okay, well, because I am a team player, I will dash, and I'm going to dash next to Nis.
All right. Valenthe, you're a giant octopus. What would you like to do?
Okay, when the wall comes down, I'm ready to dash in between them so that I hopefully take hits.
Okay.
Giving my team time to smack at least one of them.
QRS, what are you going to do?
Annette, do you also have a healing word?
I don't know that I can give
think
it.
The octopus can't cast healing word.
Oh,
no. Yeah.
Because it just sounds like blub, 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 blub.
I have a question. Does it account? Would this count as a sneak attack if we drop the wall and then suddenly I am present again to them?
Probably not, but Valenthe running forward next to them, doesn't that give you your thing?
That does. Okay. Well, I since I didn't say, I am readying a knife attack when the wall goes down.
QRS, you readying something or casting a healing word?
I'm trying to figure out. Can I think this works. I think I can take the bonus action to cast a healing word and then use my main action to ready an action.
Do it.
Are you healing? That's a good question. Nis, what are you at?
6.
Yep, let's do that. What have I got for you? I'm running low on spell slots, but take a level 4 healing word. That is 13 hit points for you.
Thank you.
Yep, and then I will ready. I'm going to ready a vicious mockery.
Okay.
On the. Can we agree who we're targeting? 3 or.
I can only reach 3 because when I'm an octopus, I can only move 10 feet
on ground.
On
you're
ground.
Probably better underwater, right?
I am.
Well,
better
you're not going to be.
But I could still attack that one with a tentacle.
What's your reach? Is it just 5? You don't have a better. It's not a better reach in octopus form, is it?
Yeah, it doesn't say that I have anything different.
The other thing I was trying to figure out is if you can move as part of a ready to action.
No, I can reach 15 feet. So
Wow.
I could move 10.
Great.
I could
Don't
hit
even
either
move.
of them.
Don't
No,
even
but
move.
if you're close, if you're next to
Right.
them, then I get a sneak attack. And if you're not, I don't. So...
And we still need me to draw the fire.
Yeah. So
so just pick which one you want to hit, and I will ready an action to hit that one.
Okay.
Nis
Does the
backs
top
up.
one have something on it?
We'll say there.
the top one had been moonbeam, but then left. The top one
Right.
has taken more damage. So you want to
Okay,
focus fire on
so
the top
I
one?
will do the top one then.
All right.
Okay.
Nis, you could ready an action, and then,
Yep.
I mean, the act of dropping the spell is just not concentrating anymore, which I think
Exactly.
is not really an action.
Yep.
What are
I
you
have-
readying?
Oh, I'm gonna cast Firebolt.
All right. And then you drop your thing.
Before you
Oh.
drop the flame, can you just could I take another turn and ready an action as well?
Yes, I believe Nis can do that. I think the only thing that would be bad is
Yeah.
if you waited longer than that, then we get into things didn't trigger and
I've got I've got a minute, so
Yeah.
we've got
okay.
lots of turns.
So if I
So Murdy, what
can
are you
I
gonna it's
move
on
up
action.
here, and then I will ready an action to attack. Or actually, I guess I should move up.
Do you have a range attack?
Yeah,
here.
it's gonna need to be a ranged
5,
attack.
10, 15, 20. Yeah, okay. So I'll use my range attack. I'll ready my
Crossbow or something.
longbow.
All right. Nis, you drop the fire. Let's see. I'm not entirely sure of the order that this then happens in. Let's go. Let's say Nyasa, you go. Your attack triggers first. You throw a dagger, the top one.
Yep. It's just going to be a non-sneak attack dagger, but it's still something. And that is a 24, which I believe will hit.
Yep.
And it's just 1d6 plus 4. That is 7 damage, and I will fling another one.
You only get to it's you ready.
It's
on
only one.
action.
Yeah.
It's on action. Yeah. All right. Dagger hits that one. Valente, I believe you readied rushing forward in octopus form.
Yes.
I'm gonna move
So
the giant illusory bug off the map for
can
now.
I do an attack, or I'm moving?
I think
just
you're
the full?
just moving forward.
'Kay.
Yeah. All right. Cuaris has some kind of attack that's gonna launch on a skitter widget. We'll check in with him when he comes back. And Nis, you get a
Firebolt.
thing. Yep, firebolt.
I'm going to use my inspiration because I only got a 14. Thanks for the inspiration, Tony.
You're welcome.
And I still miss.
I'm sorry, it happens. Murdy, I think you are last there.
Yep. And so I'm going to use my longbow on the north skitter widget. And I roll a 21 and does 1d8 plus 2. That does 6 points of damage.
Okay.
And then I take my second attack.
I think you only get on attack unless you have something very special with your longbow attack or something.
Because this is our ready to action.
You're ready to action.
Mhm.
Oh, I see. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. All right. So everything goes off. I believe it's now the skitter widget's turn, and then it will go back into order. Does that make sense? And it's just the skitter widgets left, so it's
And
yeah.
whatever Cuaris
yeah.
did.
We don't know what that is or was, but it's unlikely. I will tell you the longbow shot somewhere in there bloodied the skitter widget, possibly before the longbow shot. But the top skitter widget. So skitter widgets are next. They see a giant octopus. So this skitter widget moves forward, and both skitter widgets are going to focus on the giant octopus. Because that's I think that's what makes sense in this situation. Skitter Widget, bite attack on Giant Octopus. Come on, D&D.
11. I have an armor class of 11.
All right. A Skitter Widget bites you for 9 piercing damage. And then it does a tail attack. Tail attack 8 is not going to hit an octopus. Wow, I think that's my first miss with the tail attack in a long time.
I think it is.
Second Skitter Widget, 20 to hit with a bite attack, 11 piercing damage. How's that giant octopus doing?
Sorry, I'm trying to math it out.
Let me know if you need me
sheet.
to repeat some numbers here.
33. I have 33 points left.
All right.
I started with like 50 some, so.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's like a character's worth of hit points, right?
Exactly.
The second Skitter Widget strikes out with a tail attack, 11. I forget what you said the armor class of the octopus
is. That is my armor class.
Ouch. You're going to take 9 and 6 is 15 damage from the tail attack, and the octopus needs to do a DC 15 con save against being stunned.
Okay. So I am stunned.
I'm sorry, Annette.
Look, my job was to go in there and take the hit. So
all right. Nyasa, your sister is a giant octopus. She's next to 2 Skitter Widgets.
It happens a lot in this family.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's thankfully standing next to them, so I do get a sneak attack. I will go for the bloodied one at the top, and that is very good. That is a 27 to hit. So that is 5d6 plus 4. 66 plus 4.
66 plus 4.
That is, that's much better. 12, that's not as good. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 plus 5, 23 plus 4, 27 damage.
27 damage. It is now very relevant. What did QRS do on his turn that we don't know about?
I also have another dagger which I could throw, which might tip the balance.
Or you might be throwing it at another target. We don't know. We exist in a weird...
It's like quantum
superposition.
Yeah.
Well, let's say I throw the other knife and see what happens.
All right. Let's just have a record of what that attack was.
Maybe QRS was confused and attacked the other one instead.
Or he missed. Yeah.
So I hit it because I rolled a 17 plus 8.
Dance
whatever
back.
that is.
Yeah.
And I do 1d6.
Roll it.
So that is 3 more damage.
All right. Hey, QRS.
Yo.
What action had you readied before you left?
Mockery.
Does that do damage?
It does.
So tell us what's going to happen to that Skitter Widget. We've resolved everybody else's.
Skitter Widget, you're nothing but a rust bucket full of lopped off screws. It needs to do a wisdom saving throw.
All right. Wisdom save. They are not great at those.
Listen to the wisdom of the Skitter Widget.
7.
Nope. That is 2d4 damage, which is 3. But it also gets disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its turn.
That would have been very important information to have.
Yeah, really.
In the past. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. Let me hold on. I can resolve this.
Collapse the superposition.
Hold on. I rolled well on my disadvantage attack, so that the octopus still got hit. You did how much damage did you do with that
3.
psychic attack? All right, 3 damage. Nyasa, your second dagger attack is enough to dispatch that Skitter Widget, but only because it had taken psychic damage before that we didn't know about.
It was retroactive psychic damage.
Yeah.
The battlefield can be a confusing time.
The Skitter Widget really had to think about it for a while, and then kicked in just as a Not cool, man. All right. Nyasa, that was your 2 daggers. Anything else on your turn?
I think that I could move, but
why?
I mean,
Yeah, but why? Why? You want to just eat up some airtime talking about it?
In terms of being a team player, I will move one square forward so I'm in line with everybody else.
You keep saying those words. All right, Valente, only a single skitter widget remains. You are a giant octopus. Sadly, you are an electrified sun giant octopus. So you basically, the only thing you could do on your turn is you could choose to fall prone or remain standing.
What happens when a giant octopus falls prone?
I mean,
it's like yeah.
Just I'm so like, am I frozen with all my tentacles?
Yeah, and you're kind of all like flashing black and white when we see. Yeah, except I guess, do octopi have any bones? No, they're all soft tissue, right?
Just mush.
Just the beak.
Just the beak. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm staying frozen where I am, doing my job,
doing your job, taking the hits. I think you guys. Good. You got you're doing the things that you want your characters want to be doing now, which is key. So Huaris, we are back around to you. A single skitter widget remains, but it is a relatively healthy skitter widget, and it is currently in fighting a giant octopus.
I think I'm gonna hit it again with. I'm gonna do a vicious mockery.
Vicious mockery is pretty clutch for giving disadvantage.
Yeah, disadvantage, and they seem to suck at wisdom, so
they are not good at wisdom now because they're automatons.
Yeah, not a lot of damage, but hopefully the debuffs help. So wisdom save.
I rolled a 17, unfortunately.
Cool. All right, next turn.
All right.
On the bonus action.
Healing word.
I can do a healing word. I don't have many left. How are we doing?
I think I'm at 20 of 66.
I think you're actually 19. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're kind of in the most stable we can be right now.
Yeah, this is good. I know it doesn't feel good, but you got to look at it.
Feels gross,
things,
man.
Things are relative.
Okay, I'm good for the moment then.
All right, Nis, it's around to you.
Firebolt. 27 to hit.
That hits. Roll some fire damage.
8 fire damage.
All right.
That's my turn.
That's your turn. Murdy, you going to rush forward and sword some guys? When I say guys, I mean this one skitter widget.
Robot. Okay, first attack. Rolled a 21. Oh, sorry, 19.
19 still hits.
It's okay, and that's going to be 10 points.
10 points. Bloodies that, or nope, sorry. Nearly bloodies that skitter widget.
Okay, another attack. Oh, that one misses. And I'm going to use my action surge.
Attack again.
Attack again. And 20 and 13 points of damage.
All right, that's a bloodied skitter widget. Fight's much easier when it's just all of you versus one robot.
Yeah, there's another 30 behind that door at the bottom. We'll find out.
The skitter widget is next. It is going to focus on the giant octopus because, why wouldn't you? Now, unfortunately, you are stunned, so it has advantage on these attacks, Valente.
Except for the first one, it does.
It doesn't? Didn't it save against the thing?
Oh, you're right. It saved 5.
Sorry.
I'm only at 11 anyway, so it's I'm pretty easy to hit in this point.
You're pretty easy to hit because you're a big, slow-moving cephalopod. So, yes. And you're out of water. It's not.
I'm literally doing this while holding my breath because I can hold my breath for an hour.
The first bite hits you. You'll take 6 piercing damage. Got one of those horrible tail attacks coming. I have rolled really well. That is 17 damage total for the tail attack, and you're going to need to do another con save to see if you are stunned again.
So, question. I've now run out of hit points for the octopus.
You are no longer an octopus. You are Valente.
Okay, so then the extra 5 points, does that come off of Valente's?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, is Valente save against being stunned, or how does the order of effects there work?
I think
on
so.
Wild
I think
shape
so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Jeez, so you just soaked like 55 damage?
Yep.
That's pretty good. That's 55 damage.
I'm
that
telling
did not
you, these creatures
you.
are horrible.
Go to you.
Wild shape
Okay.
is great.
Don't think about the ethics of where that octopus came from.
My mind, it's me, but in a different form.
It's just a mental octopus.
So
Just keep
Valente,
telling
you do
yourself
take
that.
you take the spillover damage, and you need to check if you're going to be stunned.
And that's Constitution.
Yep.
20.
Wow.
Finally,
Shake it
somebody's
off.
not stunned.
All right, Nyasa.
I know this sounds repetitive, but more knives. It's literally the best thing I can do in this situation.
When everything is knife, everything is when everything
is
everything.
butter. No.
Yeah.
Well, that hits anyway. That's an 18 plus an 8.
Yep.
66 plus 4. Okay. 10, 16, 20, 22, 27 plus 4, 31.
That is a skitter widget that is on its last legs. If only you could throw one more dagger with your offhand that you debate throwing all the time.
I mean, should I? Okay, fine. It bounces off the back wall.
Oh no. Valente, you stand there in your druid glory, no longer an octopus. There's one skitter widget left. It needs one hit to go down.
Then I won't turn into the wild shape again, and I will attack with my scimitar. Oh, and I did really badly. I rolled a 10 with the +7.
You know, it's hard. You just had 8 arms. Now you only got 2 again. Like it's, there's some. You should have limbered up first.
Yeah, how do these arms work even?
Yeah. I feel like octopus yoga must be a thing.
Wait, do I have to fight? I think I might have two weapon.
So everybody technically has 2 weapon fighting, but it only works if you're wielding something else in the other hand.
Oh, okay. I do have a dagger.
It would need to be, it's a light offhand thing. You need to be. You could probably do it.
Valente always has a
scimitar
dagger.
one.
She always has a dagger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's.
You're gonna attack it with your dagger in your left hand.
Yeah. Oh, and that was a crit.
All right.
Nice.
You fling it between the eyes of the skitter widget, and it, there are sparks, and it powers down. What a fight that you technically won. There's a crackle as the PA system, and it says, "Bah, what are you jerks waiting for? We got like 7 minutes before this all blasts off. Pick up the pace. Donkey out."
Right, so 7 minutes have gone by. All right.
No,
So-
three. Oh, whatever.
Oh, I thought we had 15. I thought it was
We had
15.
15 and I feel that we have more time. But Stonky's
Oh, that's good.
probably
That's
bad
nice.
at math.
Yeah.
So is
it's good.
Stonky, if
Good
he's
that you feel
on,
that.
if Stonky's on the PA system, is he up in the control room
He's
up
not.
there?
He's not.
don't
We
think
thought he
so.
was not. We thought he was down here
Okay.
somewhere.
He can't
Well,
be
we
up.
might as well
I went up
look.
and looked upstairs, and he wasn't there. There was just some
Yeah,
people
so-
strapped into chairs.
Some
So
people may not trust Nyasa based on previous actions, but
Look,
that is what Nyasa
I
believes.
came back.
So, does someone? It doesn't have to be NASA, but does someone want to check that room for what's up with the acid while we sort of regroup outside this last door?
I am
Mhm.
Yeah.
good at stealth, so in theory, I can have a quick look.
Let's
and-
all go to the door.
Okay. Well, I go down to the door.
Let's all go down there. We'll all be ready.
I go.
All right.
"Shh."
As you approach the door, there's like a brass sign on the door, and it says in common, "Control room."
I think this is the control room, says Nyasa. Can I have a quick stealth peek behind the door?
You stealth up to the door and stealthily discover that it is locked.
Ooh.
So,
Wait, are you a rogue who can't pick a lock?
No, I can pick locks. It's just a question of, is that what we want to do? Do we want
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
We
Pick
can
the
also
lock.
Door's
Guys,
locked. Time to go home.
What if we all just go back to the hearth, have another couple of meatball subs, see what happens?
Look, we have 7 minutes. Or
Yeah.
some number of minutes.
It may take you that long to unlock this door, apparently.
All right.
Or just decide to.
I don't understand, James.
Sorry, my soul left my body for a minute. I assume that means we're on James's turn.
I just don't understand. It's so bewildering.
I
think Nias is like, I think we should, they locked the door. We should respect their privacy.
Yeah.
There's a sock on the knob.
we don't know what we're going to find. Okay. Lock picking. Is that sleight of hand?
Sleight of hand.
No,
right?
it's roll your dexterity and you're proficient, so add your proficiency bonus.
Right. Okay. So
I presume you're proficient, and I presume you have thieves' tools.
I do
may be
have all.
presuming too much here.
I do have all of these things.
Yeah, we're all
That is
professionals here.
an 18.
All right, you are fiddling with it, and you discover as you're fiddling with it, it is not simply locked, but secured with an arcane lock.
Well,
Anybody got knock?
I can knock
Tony,
the door.
I don't think so.
All right, hold on. Wait. This is a good question. Does I have dispel magic? Does that work on an arcane lock?
I believe it does. Do you have enough spell slots left?
I do. Does
Teamwork.
magic work
Love
on
it.
an arcane lock? Yes, great. Love it. I'm going to use that.
Okay, is that loud or no? Knock would be loud.
knock. It's not knock. So
Okay,
it's just
knock would
any
be super loud.
Any spell of third level or lower on the target ends.
Okay, you have unlocked the door.
Okay. So that was my last 4th level slot.
Nyasa, you could theoretically open the door.
Could I
now.
stealthily have a peek this time?
Yeah,
It's
roll
unlocked.
stealth.
2 spell slots.
Okay,
left.
I can do that. That is a 27.
All right, Nyasa, it's a big, heavy iron door, and you notice that like the walls around here is pretty well reinforced too. And you peek open the door real stealthy like. There is a tiny little room beyond. It's maybe like 15 feet by 15 feet, a little square room. I'm gonna read I'm gonna mention the person in the room at the top of the description as a courtesy to my players. Crawling around on his hands and knees is a gnome with kind of fancy robes, kind of worn over a version of the jumpsuits you've seen other cultists wearing, but his has like epaulets. And he looks like he's kind of an older a gnome. Clearly this is Stonky. He has not noticed you yet. In the room, there is a big iron safe in one corner. That's the door's hanging open on it. It looks like it's probably just empty. Most of the room is taken up on the western wall by a big console. It's like a big kind of metal cabinet. There's a countdown timer. There's some blinking red buttons, and there's even little kind of windows that look like they're displaying scenes of what's happening in the tower above you.
Is there any button obviously labeled no or stop?
Looking at the console, you see that there is a timer counting down. Looks like it's got more like 9 minutes than 7, but you never know with Stonky. It's clicking down. There is a lot of other buttons, but it's I think inferring what they would do would take a significant amount of time.
So I have both suggestion and charm person,
Yes.
which might work.
Rocket inspectors, we can do this.
Okay. I'm going to try suggestion. and I'm going to use as a bonus action my last bardic inspiration to use unsettling words to penalize his attempt to save against it. Does that work, Tony?
I think so.
All right, so I'll use unsettling words as a bonus action. I guess I'll use my suggestion first and then say something unsettling at the end. I don't know. It seems weird either way.
Just add "you jerk" at the end.
I see you, I whisper.
Stonky Stonky like bolts to his feet. He maybe kind of clips his head on the control panel and like whirls around looking for where the voice is coming from.
And then I'll do suggestion, which is...
You're in the doorway there?
Yeah. I suggest you abort this launch sequence before anybody gets hurt.
All right. Does he have a chance of saving against that?
He does. It is, first of all, so he'll be penalized to the tune of 1d8.
All right.
A 7.
Ooh,
and then he has to beat
7 on a d8?
Yep. And then he has to beat a 16 with a -7.
On what stat?
Wisdom.
All right. I will tell you, he's very wise, despite all evidence to the contrary. This is one of those key things in an adventure, which I always feel is a little funny, where it's like everything's going to come down to a die roll now. Stonky, master sage, head custodian of Candlekeep Library, secret cult leader who has built or at least planned some kind of rocket launch in a condemned tower filled with scavenged books and has clearly built up a cult around himself, whirls around as you offer a magical suggestion, and he rolls a wisdom saving throw. I have rolled a 17 before doing any math on it, or with 17 with his modifier.
Oh, with his modifier.
With his modifier.
And he gets a -7.
So that's 10.
Yeah. He does not succeed.
So he looks at you, and your suggestion is magically implanted in his head, and it's reasonable. It's not a self-harm one. And he looks at you and says, I should stop the launch so that we can find more. We have more time to look for my ring. And
great idea.
And so he runs north.
Okay, I didn't expect that, but okay.
Yeah.
I assumed the controls here were connected in some way to the
no.
rocket.
I guess we let him.
So we follow him, maybe?
Follow him?
Yeah, I
follow
think that's probably the best idea.
All right.
The spell will end when he does it, by the way. So be prepared at that point.
Well, that's does everyone know that? Interesting. Stonky runs north. He kind of like awkwardly moves past you, but without pushing any of you. So he has to kind of like, I don't know. He's a gnome.
We let him go.
If you damage him, the spell will also end. So
but he also doesn't want to, so it's just like he has to navigate a crowded room. He's, seems a little bit surprised by who all these people are in the workshop, but of course he's very focused on getting to the up to getting to wherever he needs to go to stop the launch. Heads past you. He has a speed of 30, so I'm assuming any of you can keep up with him.
Yep.
There's a giant illusory bug in the hallway, and I imagine he just kind of points at it and like goes like boop boop, and it turns off.
It's got a little key fob.
Yeah, got a little key fob, and he keeps heading back basically the way that you all have been. Through the room with the engines and the broken skitter widgets. Maybe he pauses for a moment to look at the skitter widgets and be like, oh, that's sad. And I have to go to another map. There's no time limit on this. It's just until he does the thing.
The suggested course of action continue for the entire duration, and the spell lasts up to 8 hours. So
8 hours. All right. I'm bringing you all to the map to the first floor of the barn. He appears, leads the way up through the secret passageway. Your favorite cultist, Alpaca Macadamia Nuts, is still tied to a chair there. Stonky gives him kind of like a curt nod. I think Alpaca Macadamia Nuts probably avoids making eye contact with him because of how he has failed the cult. and he heads up to the second floor. Now, I think probably Nyasa is the only one who has seen the second floor much before. There are, as Nyasa had seen, 4 cultists who have tied themselves to chairs, waiting for the thing. And Stonky says, "Hello, everybody," and just keeps going. It's possible that the cultists are going to react to all of you following Stonky, but they're tied to chairs. So
don't mind us, I say as we breeze past.
All right. Stonky heads up to the top of the tower, and makes his way over to a lever with a giant ruby on the end of it, which had taunted Nyasa before. Let me just see here. Nyasa, I don't know how close you got to the lever, but there's a big...
certainly saw the jewel, I think.
Yeah.
I think it might also be wise to, as soon as he completes this, basically be surrounding him.
Okay. I mean, I think you can plan for this. Stocky takes a seat in the chair next to the lever. The lever, I don't think Nyasa got close, but I imagine especially anyone's following along can now see. And Stonky even gives you kind of a wink as you notice that he does something on the lever to deactivate a magical ward.
Good thing I didn't pull that lever.
Nyasa surely would have triggered. And then he puts his hand on the lever, and then he pauses for a moment. You can see there's kind of a strange interface here. The lever has 3 positions, and they are labeled confusingly as such: coop, shed, and stable. The lever is currently in the stable position. A robotic voice, which is Stonky, which must have been pre-recorded, says, "Bok bok! 3 minutes till launch. Stonky out. Bok bok!" Stonky fishes in his pockets and finds a tattered notebook. QRS, do you read Gnome?
Good question. I do.
Oh,
I
okay.
do too.
Amazing. His notebook is written in Gnome. He's written himself a little cheat sheet. It says stable, blast off, ! Shed, delay, and coop, abort. Stonky spends a distressingly long amount of time studying his little cheat sheet, and then pulls the lever, cranking it into coop. I think the suggestion now wears off, and he whirls around to look at you all, startled.
I think at that point, everybody's got a weapon leveled at this guy, right?
Yeah.
Is this a knocking
Your
out
reign
or
of terror is over,
demanding surrender situation?
I think it's a demanding surrender situation, unless somebody else is going to take a different tack here.
Persuade, or is this
QRS, I will allow you to roll an intimidate check with advantage.
In that case, to extra my intimidation, I am not leveling my rapier at him, but my bagpipes, which anyone can tell you is the most intimidating thing you can do.
Can confirm.
I rolled a 20.
All right. Stonky just kind of slumps in the chair and says, "You've ruined everything."
It's a matter of opinion and interpretation, I think.
What we do.
The automated voice, which is Stonky's own voice, blares over the PA system. "Meow. Launch aborted. Meow."
Okay, I got a lot of questions, but at the top of the list, what is with the animal sounds?
Every cult's got to have its thing.
This is not a good one.
I just wanted to protect.
Get a load of that guy.
I just wanted to protect the most important books in Candlekeep.
From what?
From everything. Having them all here in one place, on one coast, on one planet, it's not safe.
One planet. What were you going to do?
What other planets are there?
We were going to launch them up into space.
What's a planet?
Where they'd be safe.
What's a space?
It's above of the heavens.
Like the clouds?
That seems like a bad place to go. Why would the books be safer there?
Well, it's about, you want to not have all your important books in one place.
But how would people use the books for research and learning?
Huh. Hadn't thought about that one.
Space ain't no kind of place.
Have you lost a lot of books?
Keep a book
previously?
Books get damaged or destroyed or taken by adventurers. Swallow people whole. Some of the books eat each other. We lose books every day. That's why we demand new books from everyone who visits Candlekeep.
I guess that kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no.
how, so you say that you were going to how was this thing going to launch? How was that going to happen?
We discovered an important book, Candlekeep Destruction, by one of the original architects of Candlekeep, and I can't take credit for the design of this tower as a rocket. We simply finished the work that the original architect had planned. It's like a missile, a magic missile that would launch into space once we had finished perfecting the engines and preparing it for travel.
I don't think the gods would appreciate if you tried to shoot them with a magic missile.
I assure you, it's all very on the up and up. I consulted the rules. There are no rules for the Avowed that says you may not turn a building into a rocket.
No rule against it. I think that right. You're right. I'm just curious, was it going to be magically propelled into above the clouds, or was it chemical? What was the method you were going to use?
A little bit of all of the above.
Okay.
Was there likely to be any damage to the rest of the library when that occurred? Because we did notice some seismic activity.
I forgot to account for that.
I feel that perhaps you did not think this plan entirely through, Stonky, though perhaps your motives were noble.
I am the most noble person I know.
Are you sure
and
it would have been
apparently
safe?
I mean, we did kill quite a few of your cult members.
As I pointed out in the very first session, you could have done non-lethal damage to all of them.
Well, there's very little evidence of the initial ones because we incinerated them.
I imagine around this time, suddenly a bookworm and a squad of purple-robed Avowed flooded to the chamber, seizing control of the situation.
Oh, sure. Now they're here.
They've got to untie the cultists on the second floor so that they can then handcuff them and lead them away. And Bookworm is there with a pair of cultists ready to take Stonky away. She thanks your hands and says, "I can't thank you enough for all that you've done, and you've truly saved Candlekeep. And look, we regret all of this, but Stonky will be dealt with."
I think he was just trying to protect books. He really loves books.
We all love books here at Candlekeep, but some of us love books too much. That is what I have learned in my times as top reader.
That's like the end of an episode of like Candlekeep SVU or something.
Perhaps he read too deep.
I'm feeling a craving for meatball subs, honestly.
Meatball subs on
that
me.
That sounds great.
And I assume since we saved all this part that we get like special like lending privileges now.
Sure, says Bookworm. Okay. As you all leave to get your meatball subs, she turns to one of the other Avowed and says, "I can't believe they didn't ask for more than that."
What about some money? Okay.
And then later we're in the hearth.
Money. Who gets all the money?
As you're toasting your meatball subs, Stonky is there too, but handcuffed because it turns out it is not technically illegal to turn a building into a rocket, and so his punishment is mainly just a loss of privileges in his status among the Avowed.
Did anybody grab the giant ruby?
Nyasa thought about grabbing the giant ruby, but like there were cops around.
Wait, are you suggesting he got demoted from custodian to?
Well, he was like head custodian before.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Someone
also,
else.
he's not allowed.
No cult ties.
He's not allowed to have. He's not allowed
custodian.
to have a cult anymore, which is convenient because I think you murdered 85% of the cult also. So.
Is it murder if it's not premeditated?
It's more like just cult-related fatalities that happened, okay?
I think it's called
they
programming.
ran through, like, we put up a wall of fire, some of them ran through it. Did we kill them?
Yeah.
Fire killed them.
There will be, so the rocket, you obviously aborted the launch, but the barn door is technically now a tower/rocket. So the Avowed will be busy doing some work figuring out how they can make sure that doesn't happen intentionally or accidentally in the future. I imagine a bunch of like mage cops show up and start casting wards on everything. But yeah, you did it. Surprisingly,
can I go?
One of the
can
few
I go down
things,
and look in the acid pit?
Yeah, you can. Surprisingly, one of the few things that they did provide art for in this adventure is the tower taking off, which is a thing you don't want to happen. But yeah,
well, I would have been spectacular though. So
it would have been. Here, let me see if I can show you the art of it. I'm always just surprised by what they do and don't provide art of.
What would happen if we were in the tower when it took off?
If you were in the tower, were you safely secured to a chair when that happened?
Totally.
No.
Yes, I was.
You would. They gave me. There's a whole listing of the different things that would happen depending on where you were. For example, if you are in the basement or in the vicinity of the tower when it takes off, that's really bad. You take like 130 something fire damage. If you're in the which is like
outright. That's outright murder. That's outright murder for most of us.
Yes. James was doing a lot of talking, so I was consulting all the tables. If you were in the tower and not strapped in, you would take some light bludgeoning damage. The tower was prepared to basically enter orbit unless you had messed with the mechanisms. It is a good thing that you did not try and steal the ruby, James, because you would have had to fight some lightning golems.
That would probably be bad.
Yeah. And the tower did have food and provisions for 1 year, after which I don't know what happens.
Quick question. Is it, airtight?
It is magically airtight. That is probably a pre-existing condition of the tower by the original constructor and not the work of Stonky and his crew.
Okay. I mean, it's made of like stone.
Yeah.
Traditionally not a great thing to shoot in orbit.
Magic.
I think it could have been cool if we'd had a year in space.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would have been a fun adventure.
There also were lots of things. If you had adjusted the settings on the control room before it launched, there was a high degree of chance that the tower would not launch into orbit, but would instead land somewhere else, dealing a significant amount of damage.
As we nuke one of the other cities.
Just to be clear, you would not have survived that. But yeah. So that's Candlekeep Deconstruction. One of the stranger adventures in Candlekeep Mysteries.
I would say one of the hardest that we've done, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was that wall of fire. If we hadn't had that wall of fire,
that was clutch.
That was it. We were gone. So
well done, Nis.
You saves the day.
Skitter widgets. They're rough.
So those who healed Nis also saved the day.
Also saved the days. Really, everyone is a hero except James.
Surely, I'm more of a hero because I was tempted and didn't give in to temptation. I feel that helps. Can I look in the acid?
Oh yeah, down in the acid, there's a bunch of twisted metal, and underneath that is the ring that everyone was looking for.
See, rings in rings.
I've heard enough of your ring theory. Well, we did it. I guess I should thank you all for coming back and playing an adventure we started almost a year and a half ago. That we're now
so nice.
We're legally allowed to play more Candlekeep adventures. Jason, thanks for turning as Nis.
Thank you, Tony. It was a pleasure.
James, thank you for maintaining continuity with Nyasa.
Yeah, I am just glad that we didn't have to do any Fast and the Furious type shenanigans. Although going into space would be very Fast and Furious as well.
Yeah, referencing knowledge. Annette, always enjoy a giant octopus.
First time I've turned into a giant octopus. I feel like it might be a good thing to try again.
Nick, thank you for bringing a new human fighter into the mix.
Thank you. I really thought we were going to be dead there.
I was super prepared for it. And Dan, thank you for bringing QRS over from the White Sparrow world. Thus uniting our universes.
Signing off with a haunting bagpipe solo.
Well, listeners, thank you for listening. I've been Tony Sindelar. This has been Total Party Kill. We'll be back soon with another adventure.
the Incomparable Podcast Network. Become a member and support this show today. theincomparable.com/members